Welcome to Dodger Fan Weekly. I'm Adele.
And I'm Annadelle.
And we love the Dodgers.
Let's talk about what everybody knows.
Okay, everybody knows that Kershaw's thrown in the bullpen.
That's right. Everybody knows that we've got starting pitchers that can make it through one inning and they end up back on the DL.
It's frightening, and everybody knows that we're going to meet the Giants for 9 games.
That's right, and everybody knows that we're half a game apart all the time. So by the time they come to LA, it's going to be a race. The pennant race is on.
Everybody knows.
Enough about what everybody already knows. Let's talk about something that not everybody knows.
Okay, I have some stuff that not everybody knows.
Okay.
I'm talking about some traditions, baseball traditions.
I like baseball traditions.
The ones I'm speaking of? Well, the first one is the ceremonial first pitch. Why the heck do we do that?
I don't know why.
Well,
When did it start?
Well, it started in 1908 in Japan.
Oh.
The Japanese Prime Minister in 1908 was the first person to throw out a ceremonial pitch.
No.
So 2 years later is when we started our first ceremonial pitch. It was the President William Howard Taft in 1910. Now, they used to throw the ceremonial pitch from the grandstand.
When did they start changing and people are on the mound now throwing the pitch?
Well, what happened, I don't know the exact year, but Ronald Reagan was the president.
Okay.
And he a surprise visit, walked onto the field of the Baltimore Orioles game. And so they let him go on the mound and throw that pitch, and we've been doing it ever since. Every president, by the way, to date, has thrown out a first ceremonial pitch.
Since 1910.
Some All-Star games, some World Series, some regular baseball games. So arigato, Japan, for giving us the first ceremonial first pitch. Let's go, Dodgers!
You know the tradition I've always wondered about? The 7th inning stretch.
Funny you should ask that. There are different theories. In fact, the Baseball Almanac chose one, although they said there are so many, it's really hard to know the truth. So this is what they say.
Okay.
They say that it was none other than William Howard Taft.
Baseball
fan. Yes, he began the 7th inning stretch.
Huh.
So he weighed 300 pounds, right? And in those days, political figures in America were much more revered than they are today. And so somewhere during the 7th inning, he started to stand up because he was tired,
And
uncomfortable.
Everybody joined him.
Everyone joined him, and thus the birth of the 7th inning stretch. Have you all noticed all the home runs that have been hit these days? I mean, lots of them. By our guys.
By our team in particular.
A couple of them.
Funny you should say that, because I just read an article on 538, and the title was, Steroids Probably Are Not the Cause of the Current Power Surge.
Thank goodness, because I was having visions of 2000, and oh my gosh, it's scaring me.
Yeah, we don't want to deal with that. They are contending that the balls are juiced.
What? The balls are how do you juice a ball? How do you juice a ball?
They make a couple of arguments. They do a comparison, okay? They contend that if players were taking PEDs, they would ramp up to the power surge.
So
right?
it would take a while.
Take a while. Like, for example, the steroid era, they say you can argue it started in 1994. And so it took several years before the extraordinary performance by players through 1998, through 2000.
So it took like 4 years for all the learning curve to happen.
Right.
How to get them, where to get them, how to beat the tests, all that stuff. Okay.
Right. And they're saying now the current surge started after the All-Star game in 2015. So that's just a little over a year. They're saying that all these, and across the board, Major League players are hitting more home runs and they've got more power. More home runs per plate appearance are happening all across the board.
Right, but the learning curve is done. So you wouldn't need 4 years, let's say, if it were PEDs. We're not saying it is, but it's interesting, the argument they chose. How do they know that the ball was changed? I mean, there's a ball. There's rules and regulations that go with the ball.
That's right. And whenever Major League Baseball has made changes to the ball, they've always announced it, all the way back to when they started using cork as the core, and during wartime, you know, all of those kinds of different things.
Horsehide to cowhide, all that stuff.
But why now are they saying the ball has changed? Let's look at these charts.
So their charts actually show the different eras from the hides and from the
manufacturing with rubber, you know, when during wartime and things like that.
But they also show 2 charts from steroid to current era. So they kind of acknowledge that there was a steroid era.
But the thing is, when you look at the two charts, the surges look almost identical.
They do. It's not that once they get there, in other words, once they're at their peak.
Right. And the changes in baseball, even in this article, they're saying they haven't necessarily changed how they make baseballs. They're saying that Rawlings moved part of their operations somewhere else in 2015.
Okay.
And the surge started after the All-Star break in 2015. So they're equating Rawlings moving operations with all of a sudden the ball being juiced.
But MLB hasn't announced that there's been any change to the ball.
Right.
Huh? What?
Talking about baseballs, there are regulations.
There are.
The baseball.
There it is. A true indisputable icon of American culture. But why? What makes this orb such an icon? Let's dig a little deeper and see what we find. First, we remove the red thread that holds her together. Then we remove the leather cowskin protective shell. Where we find a white poly cotton finishing yarn, we slowly unravel that fine white finishing yarn to discover a layer of 3-ply gray woolen yarn. After some time, we peel back the gray dark yarn, and there is a layer of 3-ply white woolen yarn. We peel back the white yarn, and lo and behold, a second layer of dark yarn. Oh, the mysteries of the icon. We peel back that dark 4-ply gray woolen yarn, and there it is. The core. The core of the icon. It's about the size of a quarter. A cork is the core of the icon. And it's held together by layers of sheep wool. The icon. The baseball.
We don't know if the balls are juiced.
We don't know if the players are juiced.
We do know you still have time to enter the caption contest.
So, check us out on Twitter to find out how to enter.
I'm Adele.
I'm Annadelle.
See you next time.